Hi everybody, this is Pesa from WP Site Support, and on today's tutorial I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to create your first ebook from initial idea to ready for readers. According to Quora.com, in 2017, 1.1 million ebooks will be published. 1.1 million ebooks will be published. And I found this slide with more information about ebooks, and they said actually the ebook sales will surpass printed book sales in 2017. But the big thing about this is print and audiobooks, their sales are constantly declining. They are declining, and ebooks from 2008, their sales are actually increasing. And you can see there's a long-term trend which favors ebooks. And this is another slide which although it's not as dramatic as the one I had shown you before, but still shows you that in 2010, 69 million ebooks were published. This is not sales, just the number. But in 2015, 204 million ebooks were being published. So steadily the number is growing. So who wants a piece of the ebook pie? And if you said yes to this question, then you are in the right place, because today I'll show you how to publish one. So to get the article that I used to create this tutorial, you can actually text TOAST to 678-506-7543. 678-506-7543. And because I'll be giving you a lot of information in a very short amount of time, so you want to follow up with this information, and so you need this. It's more than a 50-page ebook which will tell you how to will give you the steps, and it's something that you can use to refer to later. So let's get started. Why do you want to write an ebook? Some of us, we want to share and spread our ideas. We are unique, and we might know something that other people might not know, or just the spin that we give an issue which is unique to us might be able to open up the eyes of somebody. Somebody might actually get an insight from our experience. Sometimes in an industry, you want to establish your expertise. You might be very knowledgeable in an activity, maybe playing a guitar, photography, whatever activity is, and you want to establish yourself as the go-to person or an expert in that field. Some of you have already communicated in different format, and this is just another extra format you're going to add. Some people are already on YouTube. They're doing a lot of videos. Some people have already published in the traditional publishing market. Some people are doing podcasts. Some people are writing blog posts. And this is just a different format that you can add to your arsenal of different ways people can consume your content. And you can also make money. The ebooks can be sold, and by selling the ebooks, you can make money, which we all want a piece of that. And another thing is because you can. This is a new way of doing things. It's relatively new, and it's always fun to learn it and try and see if you can be able to master it. So the 7 steps of creating your first ebooks are: find your topic, planning the process, writing your ebook, editing, publishing, selling, and promoting. And I'm going through them pretty fast here because I will actually go through each step individually. Okay, let's start rock and rolling. So the first thing is finding your topic. Basically, you want to figure out what you will be writing your book about. Sounds like a no-brainer, but for most of us, we have so many ideas that narrowing down the topic that we will write the book can be actually be very frustrating, because we feel like we want to tell people everything. But we need to narrow down the topic so that it can be easier now to do research and find information for that little specific topic. So although publishing ebooks is becoming easier, there's a work involved, and this it's very important to have a topic and now to be able to go through this whole process. Now, when you're planning, you need to start planning your ebook. And as Stephen Covey said, you need to start with the end in mind. And the first thing to ask yourself is, who is your audience? Who are you writing this book for? Because eventually you'll have to deliver this book to somebody else. Somebody else has to read it. And it's very important to know their needs and their wants so that you can tailor the book to what they want. And then, which ebook format are you using? There are many formats, and we are not going to talk about them right now, but a very popular format is PDF. And how will you sell your book? Are you going to bundle it with other products that you have? Are you going to sell your ebook on Amazon? Are you going to on iTunes? Are you going to have your own website and just put it there? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to give it for free? There are so many things you can do with your ebook, and knowing that ahead of time will help you know how much effort you need to place on each area. And how are you going to promote your book? This is huge, because not only after you've written your book, you need to get people to know that you wrote a book. So you need to do some marketing and promotion. And how are you going to do this? Are you going to do this on your website? Are you going to do this using videos? Will you buy ads? Are you going to do it just by emailing your email list? You have to start thinking about that in the planning phase. After you've done all the planning, now we need to get started. Writing. Literally, we need to sit down and write. Sounds easy, but there's a lot of resistance, and a lot of folks, this is actually might be a hard part, because sitting down and writing with all the distractions in the world, the notifications from social media, just other pressing projects in your business or your job, family issues, just so many things can actually prevent you from sitting down and write. And if you can master this part of sitting down and writing, you actually have a huge advantage over a lot of people. So when you're writing, you need to do some research. And again, I need to emphasize the idea that you need to think in terms of the person who will be reading your book. What do they want to know? What are their pain points? What are they looking for? And then create something that will be working for them. So when you're doing your research, think about that. Do an outline. You will do the outline to help you with just putting the content down on paper or on your computer. Start doing the outline so that you can just have an idea how the book, how many chapters you're going to have, and things like that. Start writing. Write the whole book, maybe a chapter a day or something like that, and then rewrite. The more you rewrite, the more you're going to be clear, and you bring a lot of clarity to your writing. And then as much as possible, try to be conversational, because that's how you're trying to just to have a conversation with the reader. Try as much as possible to be conversational. Editing. This is not just a rough draft. After you have completed your book, you need now to edit. And a lot of folks, the best way to do this is just hire an editor. Hire somebody and fresh eyes to look at what you've done, so that they can actually point out the mistakes, or something like maybe you have a run-on sentences or typos and things like that. Let them look at it and give you a fresh perspective on what you've done. So this is not on the rough draft, this is on your completed work. After that, After you've done the editing, now you need to publish. The book is pretty much complete now. It's in your Word document or a Google Doc or whatever, but now you need to get it to look like a book. Again, I had talked about publishing in PDF because you can just convert it on your computer from the Word document to a PDF document, which is a portable document file. But if you want to give it a more professional look and a professional touch, you need to look for other ways of doing that. Softwares like Scrivener, which is a professional writing software for readers, can help you with writing and also help you with conversion. Publishing. Adobe InDesign is what high-end professionals use because it's a layout software that actually will turn the words that you've written to make it look like a book with the pictures and all that stuff. Pressbook is another software that people use, especially someone like Chris Brogan has recommended it, and using Pressbook is another software that can help with your publishing. A lot of folks, after you have published, you need to convert it. There's some services, instead of just doing it yourself, there's some services that can help you with. Some services like Digital Book and Book Baby, which are online services which can help with your conversion from your words to a book. And I would recommend just going for using a service because it removes the bottleneck of learning a new way of doing things, literally learning a software to be able to publish your ebook. If possible, you can just get somebody else to do it, and it's actually cheaper, especially when you look in terms of your time. And now the big thing, selling. Remember we already talked about in the planning phase, how will you sell your book? Now, the two main approaches is your own shop if you're going to sell it, or you can use ebook stores like Amazon or iTunes. The huge advantage of Amazon and iTunes or other huge online bookstores is there's a lot of people who are already there, who already trust them, and they don't mind using their credit cards in these sites. And although you have to pay them a piece of the pie, you have to pay them some money to sell there, it might be less of a headache to use these services because of the trust. But another thing is there's a lot of competition in these sites because you are not the only one who is selling books there. Now, we've all heard about the field of dreams. Remember, if you sell it, if you build it, they will come. Just the world will beat each other as they're trying to get to you. If you've been around a while, you know this is not true. You will build it, but they will not beat their way to come to get to your stuff. So you have to do the next thing, which is promoting. You have to tell them that you actually wrote a book and why they need that book and why that book will actually change their lives. So they don't sell themselves. It takes people talking about them and spreading the word. And you can always start with people you know. So on your email list, on your social media following, on your Twitter following, and you can start telling people there that hey guys, I wrote a book and this book will do ABC, and you can start from there. And then you can also think in terms of paid promotion, maybe using ads, Google ad, Facebook ads. You can also do a press release, but always remember that the fact that you wrote a book is not news. Think in terms of who is reading the press release. How is that important to them to know that you wrote a book? How is that going to change their life? Another thing is social proof. encourage reviews. Ask or beg or plead or anything. Ask your readers to review your book, because there's that feeling, there's that momentum where the more books, the more reviews a book has gotten, especially positive reviews, the more likely somebody is willing to read the book. And most of us can relate to this, that we go to maybe a site like Amazon, and before we buy, we start looking at the reviews. If something has been reviewed the most, even if it's not the best one, but the feeling that other people have already reviewed it, that gives you that social proof that it's a good thing. So we like to follow the herd. So if you can get people to start reviewing your ebook, that will actually get the ball rolling. And then to recap, find your topic, plan the process. Always start with the end in mind. Sit down and write your ebook, edit the ebook, publish it, sell. And when it comes to editing and publishing, it's always a good idea to outsource, so you can get that part done as quickly as possible, so that you can move on to the selling. So selling and promoting. Now, to get the article that I used to write this tutorial, you can always text TOAST to 678-506-7543, 678-506-7543, and you'll actually have everything, about 50 pages of information on how to actually write your own fast ebook.